Hello and welcome to all my dear students on topic cell theory and its organelles. What is a cell? The cell comes from the word small rooms, which is the basic structural, functional and biological unit of organisms. It is the smallest unit of life and is also described as building blocks. This can be classified as unicellular, means single cells like bacteria, or a multicellular like plants and animals. The number of cells in plants and animals varies from species to species. The cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. He observed under the slice of a cork through the microscope small compartments in it. So, this cork is a bark of a tree. What did he do? He has observed the bark of a tree. Under the bark of a tree, there is a layer known as a cork. So, cork is a part of a bark of a tree. So he took the slice of a bark of a tree and saw it under the microscope. So what did he saw? He saw a structure like the compartments or the rooms. Like rooms, we can see different types of rooms in a building. Same way, under the cork, he saw small rooms like structure. So he named these rooms like structure as cells. So this is how the name of cells was discovered. Now again, unlike the bricks in a building, the cells are the basic structural units of organisms. There are different types of cells and they are having the different designs and the different shapes. As the cells are so microscopic, we cannot see it through the naked eyes. But there is a hen's egg which can be easily seen through the naked eyes. Here you can see an image of an egg. This is whole egg. The outer region is the egg white and the central one is the yellow part of an egg, which is known as a yolk. You can see there is a small opening like here. This is known as blastoderm. And so this is the nucleus. In the egg cell, where we can see the nucleus, this a small tiny structure here. You can compare it with here. This is a fertile egg and this is non-fertile egg. When the egg is fertile, it forms like this structure. The skin is becoming quite thickening and you can see the central part here. This a small dot-like structure. This is the nucleus here. So this is an example of an egg. This is a cell which can be seen through our eyes. Now, organisms show variety in a cell number, shapes and sizes. What does it mean? That if an organism is of huge size, that doesn't mean that it is containing millions of cells in it. For example, an animal, elephant, is bigger in size to human beings. But that doesn't mean that an elephant contains more number of cells than the human beings. Different groups of cells performs different varieties of function. Depending on the number of cells, there are classified as two types of cells.
The first one is eukaryotic cell containing the nucleus and the second one is prokaryotic cell.
Eukaryotic cells has a membrane-bound nucleus. This is a nucleus. While in prokaryotic cell, we cannot see any nucleus. There is no membrane like this. So, prokaryotic don't have any bound nucleus. While I can see here, this is a nucleus. Under the nucleus, there are long strands of chromatin fibers. These are known as DNA or the chromosomes. Chromosomes are genetic materials which takes in or inherits the properties of the ancestors to their offsprings. In eukaryotic cells, the DNA or the chromosomes are long strands of structures, while in prokaryotic cells, the DNA is long round structures. It is curved like structures. You can also see in eukaryotic cell there are other bound membranes. There is a mitochondria. This is a mitochondria. There is a endoplasmic reticulum or the Golgi bodies. This is Golgi bodies. And the fluid-like structure. This is known as cytoplasm. Now let us move to the detailed parts. This is a difference of prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. I have written here all unicellular organisms are prokaryotic, while eukaryotic cells can be a unicellular or a multicellular. Prokaryotic, as I told you earlier, it has no definite nucleus because nuclear membrane is absent, while in eukaryotic it has a definite nucleus and it is enclosed with the nuclear membrane. Prokaryotic cells, again, they are having no bound organelles such as mitochondria. This is absent here. While in eukaryotic cells, there are membrane bound organelles such as mitochondria. As I told you earlier, in eukaryotic cell, DNA is a circular and it is without protein. While in eukaryotic cells, DNA was, I told you so earlier, that it is linear and it contained a chromatin thread-like structures. Prokaryotic cells, ribosomes are small and eukaryotic also have ribosomes and they are small. Prokaryotic cells reproduce by asexual methods, while the eukaryotic cells reproduce by asexual or sexual methods. There are more properties which I have written here for different types of organelles that are present in eukaryotic cells: nucleus, lysosomes, vesicles, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, centrioles, and mitochondria, which I will discuss in my further video.
So, prokaryotes are single-celled organisms. The examples of prokaryotes are bacteria and archaea, and they don't have a well-defined nucleus, while the eukaryotes are single-cellular organisms as well as multicellular organisms. The examples of multicellular organisms are animals, plants, and fungi. There is a fungi which can be classified as unicellular as well as multicellular.
An amoeba captures and digests the foods. It also excretes, it grows, reproduces, etc. So, similar like multicellular organisms, this amoeba even performs all the functions. You can see here, it is taking in its food here, and these all are known as false feet. This is known as false feet, and so it is named as pseudopodia or pseudopodium. So in this way, amoeba traps its food through its false feet, which is pseudopodia. Here is a food vacuole and the vacuole here.
Now, let's see the microscopic view of the real image of a single cellular organism, amoeba. And this is a paramecium. Now, let us come to the shape of cells. Here, you see a round spherical organelle here. This is a red blood cell. So, what is the shape of red blood cell? This is circular. And here, this is a muscle cell. What is the shape of the muscle cells? This is a spindle shape. And the C part here, this is a long branch-like organelle. This is a nerve cell. So long branch cell is a nerve cell. So you see these types of cells are having their definite shapes and functions. But unlike the organism which is amoeba, as amoeba has no definite shape unlike other organisms, but it keeps on changing its shape with the help of its false feet, which is pseudopodia. So amoeba has no definite shape, so we can see there is a one cell which is a white blood cell. So a white blood cell in human beings which is found in blood is another example of single cell which can change its shape as like the amoeba. But white blood cell, this is a cell. Okay, but an amoeba is a full-fleshed organism.
As you know, the cells are found in different shapes and sizes, and they have their definite functions. These all are round cells. These are red blood cell. In between, you can see there is a white feature here, and this is roaming. This is a white blood cell. It can be compared as a single cellular organism, amoeba. So you see how this white blood cell is roaming and fetching further harmful elements. White blood cells are found in the bone marrow. It's look like an amoeba. It's changing its shape. It's floating under the fluid among the circular cells, which is red blood cells. So it is now moving slowly and trapping bacteria which are harmful for our body. Now, let us see the detailed difference between the plant cell and the animal cell. As I told you earlier, the plant cell has a large vacuole. You see, this is a large vacuole. It has a large vacuole because it has to store the water for it. Because plants has to stay outside the sun and they need more water in comparison to the animal cell. Animal cells have, like you see, a round, small structure is there. This is the vacuoles, and the nucleus is common in between the two cells and the cytoplasm. You see the juice-like structure in the plant cell even. This is the cytoplasm. You see several green color as well as the orange and yellow color pigments are floating in this juice, which is the cytoplasm. So these colorful pigments are known as plastids. Now what are plastids? Let's come. Plastids are found inside the plants and algae, which are responsible for the manufacture and storage of chemical compounds, like they need chlorophyll, like which is present in the chloroplast. You see, this is the chloroplast, which is the green color pigment. Here it is, you can see the green round organelles like structure is there. This is chloroplast. So chloroplast contains the chlorophyll, which helps in plants to make their food, which is known as photosynthesis. And there is another plastid which is named as chromoplast. You see, the flowers are green, orange in color, or the colorful flowers, because they need to attract the butterflies and the insects to make them to help them to make their nectars and whatever. Sometimes even you have seen some food like carrot and the like capsicum, orange capsicum, and sometimes you even see the leaves, the color of leaves after some times as they decay, the green color leaves turns to the yellow color leaves or the dark brown color leaves, because in that case the chromoplast turns to the chromoplast. Chlorophyll kills in that, it is decaying, and so it is forming the chromoplast. There is another plastid which is known as leucoplast. Leucoplast contains no pigment and it is only used to store the starch. So you might have also seen the potato. Potato is a stem, and potato is also the vegetable. When you cut a piece of potato, you see it is white in color. As you know, the potato stores the starch. So it is the plastid present leucoplast in the potatoes. So potatoes are white in color. You see, this is a again plant cell with a large vacuole here. So this is another organelle attached to the vacuole. This is the chloroplast. This is the zoom picture. It is containing the green round like pigment. This is chloroplast. You see here again, this is in this juice like structure, which is this is the cytoplasm, the juicy structure, and on this the green color chloroplast are floating. In the chloroplast only there is a DNA. DNA is contained in the chloroplast, which helps to inherit the property of one plant to their offsprings. I'm drawing this outer membrane. This is one cell. Again, I am making one round like structure. This is nucleus. As I draw this nucleus, you can see that this nucleus, this is separated. This is nucleus. This is separated from this outer region. This is the external region for this nucleus. This is separated, and this jelly-like structure, this is known as cytoplasm. This is cytoplasm, the jelly-like structure in which this nucleus is remained here. This cell is separated from the other cell. If I draw the another cell here, this is separated from the another cell by a outer membrane. This is known as plasma membrane or the cell membrane. This boundary is known as plasma membrane. Okay. Now this is a nucleus. Again, this nucleus, which is covered with this outer membrane, this is known as nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane. Cells is separated by cell membrane and the nucleus is separated by nuclear membrane. Okay. Also, inside the nucleus, as inside the cell, the jelly-like structure, this is jelly-like structure. This is cytoplasm. This is jelly-like structure or the fluid. This is known as cytoplasm. Same way, in the nucleus, the jelly-like substance, this is known as nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm. This is a fluid-like structure in the nucleus. Also, there is a densely packed region inside the nucleus. This is known as nucleolus. Nucleolus. This nucleolus contains
Ribosomes are the
ribosomes.
organelles that help in protein synthesis. Now let's see the organelles of this cell. This is nucleolus, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum, cytoplasm and the lysosomes. So in a nucleus you find a long strands like structures. These are known as chromosomes. Chromosomes contains DNA which inherits the properties of parents to the offspring. In the center there is a nucleolus which makes a protein known as ribosomes. Now the ribosomes from the walls of the plasma membrane pass from nucleolus to the walls of the endoplasmic reticulum, and this is known as now rough endoplasmic reticulum. You see how these ribosomes are passing. There is another organelle. This is Golgi bodies. The fluid-like structure in the cell is cytoplasm, and let's see Golgi bodies.
You see, in this, the ribosomes, one absorbed in the walls of endoplasmic reticulum, how these ribosomes are further being absorbed in the walls of Golgi bodies. So the ribosomes now pass through the fluid-like structure which is cytoplasm. It passes through the cytoplasm and being absorbed in walls of Golgi bodies for further protein synthesis. So after being absorbed in the walls of these Golgi bodies, the further protein is being synthesized in the form of lipids and carbohydrates. These small packets of proteins is known as vesicles. So the absorbed ribosomes in Golgi apparatus or Golgi bodies contains some proteins and fats. So Golgi apparatus works as a factory which makes more proteins and forms of packets of proteins are known as vesicles. After some time, it has been passed through the plasma membrane and there are another budding of these vesicles. This is known as liposomes. So liposomes forms due to the budding of Golgi bodies. Now you see there is another organelle which is lysosome formed after the budding of Golgi bodies or they are found in the white blood cells. So lysosome is a membrane bound organelle that is involved in various cell processes. So lysosome break down the worn out cells or it works as a suicidal bags also. So lysosomes are found in animals cells and are more numerous in disease fighting cells. These are found in the white blood cells. This is because the white blood cell digests more material than other types of cell. So they quest to battle bacteria, viruses and foreign intruders. And also it destroys the dying cell. Now let's see how it functions. You see here this is a dying cell or the worn out cell. After some time new cell is generated by protein synthesis through ribosomes. Endoplasmic reticulum. There are two types, rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum as it receives the ribosomes, then further it will pass through the Golgi bodies. Now the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it only makes the fats and breaks down the toxins. There is no ribosome in the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So this was all the organelles I have discussed here in this video. These are the organelles of eukaryotic cells, or I may say the animal cells. These are the organelles present in the cell. So I hope the video is quite helpful to you. Hope you would like to subscribe and like my channel. Thank you to everyone.